Alright, now that that one's all uploaded and stuff, we can get on with the second one, can't we? We get on with the next one. So what are we looking at? What are we looking at? Well, look, this is going to be titled One Man's Trash is Another Man's Treasure. Now, the thing of it is, my bestest machine was an i5, I think it was like 4th generation i5 with 16 gigs of RAM and the 1050 graphics card. Now, we've recently been having to clear out of work, and with the clear out and revamps come chucking out of the old computer hardware. Now, one of these computers that they were going to chuck out caught my eye, and I fell in love with it, and I said to them, can I take that rather than you bin it? And they said, yeah, as long as you wipe the drive, you can have it. And this is it, what you're looking at now. Obviously it had Windows 10 on it, and it had a crappy little NVIDIA, wait a minute. It had a crappy little NVIDIA Quadro 600 or something. Graphics card, little tiny thing. It does the job. But obviously I had to make some changes because I wanted it as my main machine. It's a good solid box. It's a nice mini tower, I suppose you'd call it. It's not low profile or anything like that, so it took the 1050 graphics card really nicely. So the 750 has now gone into my previous good one, and the 1050 is in this one, and this only had 8 gigs of RAM in 4 2 gig DDR3 sticks. I thought we can do better than that, so I whipped 2 8 gig DDR3s out of the secondary PC, which is now parts. That's all it is, it's just going to be parts. Put them in here, and this has now got 20 gigs of DDR3 RAM, and it's got 250 gig SSD. It's as quiet as a church mouse, but get this, it's a 4th generation i7, 4 cores, 8 threads, and it's bloody lovely. And this was going to go into the bin. I couldn't let that happen, so I asked them for it. They said I could have it. I brought it home, I wiped the drive, I've stuck Debian on it, as you see. It's got Debian on, and I love it to bits. It's absolutely fantastic, and yeah, I game on it. Look, I've got my Steam, and so what are my games? I've got American Truck Simulator, yeah, corny ones like Bejeweled Twist, Zuma and Peggle. But I've got like Mafia, Metro 2033, Stalker. I've got all the Stalker games now, and they all run really nicely on Linux. All the Metro games, I've got all them as well, and they all, well, they're native Linux, they are. And Valheim, which I keep failing miserably at, so I'm going to have to start a new geezer, or revitalise my other geezer, and make him a bit more savvy, because he's not very savvy at the minute. Anyway, so I've got all these games, and you're not going to see them on the channel, because that's not what you want to see, is it? What most of you want to see is stuff about Linux, so that's what you'll be seeing on the channel. And of course, because this is all about noise, words and images, which is what the channel's all about, and life, the universe and everything. As soon as the weather gets good, you're going to see some outdoor stuff, you're going to see some countryside things, you're going to see some historical stuff. You may even see some collabs with other YouTubers from around my area. You don't know. You never know. I'm working on it. But it could happen. It could happen. So yeah, this was trash. This was going to go in the bin until I said, no, you can't do that. let me have it. I will take it home and give it love. And I've given it love. I've given it 3 times as much RAM. I've given it a better operating system, quite honestly, and a better graphics card. And it's going to get a hell of a lot more use than it will stuck in the bottom of a dumpster. So yeah, it's a Dell Precision T1700 with a bit more RAM and a better graphics card. And I love it. I absolutely love it. What else to tell you? I've just got all my stuff on here, my usual stuff. Oh, I've got an 11th generation i5 HP laptop as well, but that's currently polluted with Windows 11, and it struggles with Windows 11. Windows 11 is not a good operating system. It's really not. But I've got my Ableton Live on there as well, and all my samples, and my aim is to use that, because being a laptop I can just whip it out, boom boom boom, power it up, do a bit of music, shut it up, put it away, and then I want to do the serious stuff on here, like the videos for the music and so on. Or I could do the music on here, because I've got like Hydrogen Drum Machine, I've got LMMS, I've got my Audacity, and I've got a shed load of samples. I've got a shed load of samples in here. Yeah, as you see, loads and loads and loads of stuff, loads and loads of it. Let's open that with VLC. Wow, that's a really quiet one, isn't it? It's supposed to be a drum loop. See what that'll do. So anyway, yeah, I've got all my music-y making-y stuff. It's all pretty old samples, these really old samples. You know, but yeah, I've got various options for composing, I suppose you can call it that, but I think it's just like making a mashup and stuff like that. So yeah, I can make my music, I can do my videos. I have got, as I mentioned in the other thing, I've got an app image for Kdenlive, so that we don't get the incompatibility with like, oh, you need this font pack and you need that and you need there's various different codecs that it likes to have. I can't remember what they are now, but it generally whinges when you try and put it on here. But anyway, so I set up my oh yeah, I'll show you that. I'll show you how I set up my Debian with for gaming and so forth, because you need to do a few things to get it ready. Basically sort out the repos for contrib and non-free, so that you go into, like, I don't know, let's go to drop some root here. Assuming I haven't made any mistakes. So there's our repo list, which is basically where Debian grabs all its software from. As you see, I've hashed out the CD-ROMs and I've hashed out the source files, because I don't build my own, I don't combine my own software. So I've just got the binary repos, and again, main, contrib and non-free, contrib main, non-free, contrib main, non-free. So, you know, that allowed me to do an awful lot of stuff and gave me access to more proprietary software such as Steam, which you don't install until you add the 386 architecture, because out of the box Debian just comes as 64-bit libraries, and with just 64-bit libraries you cannot run Steam. You need to run Steam as 32-bit. Yeah, archaic, right? No, it's just what you need to do for it. So anyway, you add architecture i386 as root, then you do an update upgrade, then you install, if you've got NVIDIA, you install NVIDIA Detect, and then you run NVIDIA Detect, and then it will tell you to install NVIDIA Driver if you've got a recent enough graphics card. And if you've got a really old one, as I noticed for one of my other machines, using a very old graphics card, it tells you which NVIDIA driver to actually install. So then you just go and get the deb file from the NVIDIA drivers page on the internet. Easy peasy, works. And then you reboot to let everything bed in, so all the 386 architecture's available and active in the kernel and so forth. And then you just apt install Steam. Bingo, and you're good as gold. And then once you've got your Steam in, you can bring in your games, can't you? Bring in all your games. Luscious. Which I did. And so I'm happy as Larry, and I'm going to try and keep this around. Certainly I'm going to keep the hardware around. And, you know, you can't really go wrong with Debian. Shame about Systemd, though. Right, that's 2 videos in one day. I'm spoiling you. And you've had 2 videos of just me waffling. I'm afraid there's nothing else to tell you, quite honestly. I might do something on that other laptop with the Windows 11 just to get shot of it. But I might not. Oh, the other one that had Pop! OS on has now got Crunchbang++ on it, because that goes on with Secure Boot active and everything. It goes on lovely. There's so many distros that actually do. You don't even have to worry about going into legacy boot. I didn't realise. They'll just do it for you. Anyway, so yeah, I got rid of Nobara. Thanks for watching once again, and keep your eyes open. I might have something interesting to say at some point in the future. You never know. Cheers, me ducks.